some more evidence that 9/11 was known, that it was allowed to happen by the Bush administration.
When, and we don't know exactly what the target is. And he said, I beg you, if you have any sources inside Al-Qaeda, please help us. Well, these guys were silent. I think, frankly, they were stunned into silence, as I was. And at the end of the day, after they had left, I went to his office to thank Cofer for spending the time doing the briefing. Again, this was very unusual. And I said to him, Cofer, I have to ask you, was that for their benefit? Or are things really that bad? And he said, things really are that bad. We're going to get hit, and it's going to be terrible.
This is July of 2001. Now, we know there were various sections of the military intelligence and other areas of various intelligence agencies that were trying to model what the next tech might be.
Yes.
One of those models from military intelligence was planes hitting the Twin Towers. One of them might even fall down. We did an earlier report on this. Some investigative journalist, Jason Leopold was one of them, actually talked to one of the guys who was running that unit. That information, as far as we know, was suppressed in a sense. It may have not made its way up the food chain, which is rather odd. Richard Clark talks about, in fact, did an interview just a couple of years ago, which we also have, we ran on the Real News Network, with some critical information that never made it to him. And he said that information, in the normal course of things, would have made it to him. Someone had to intervene not to let it go up the food chain.
50 CIA personnel knew about this. You have to intentionally stop it. You have to intervene and say, no, I don't want that report to go. And I never got a report to that effect.
We asked Senator Bob Graham, specifically about this memo, Osama bin Laden plans to attack the United States, that no action was taken after that memo. Now, you get a memo like that, and you've got the CIA saying something's coming. How do you not do something?
I remember Dick Clark and Cofer Black both saying that they were shouting this from the rooftops.
You hear that? Shouting it from the rooftops that something big was going to happen with 9/11, suspecting an attack on the towers. Then you have planes. Now remember, the military-industrial complex, like Shrivas, brags about owning every inch of airspace up to Mars. And you know the traffic controllers and all of them can see these planes coming in probably, I don't know, for hours, their trajectory. And nothing was done to warn the people in those Twin Towers to get out of there. They knew those planes were headed that way. It wasn't a surprise to our country. To a lot of people, of course, I shouldn't say to our country, I should say to the MIC. It wasn't a surprise to Dick Cheney, and I don't know about Bush Jr., because his father really ran everything, and Dick Cheney, but so instead of protecting the people, they wanted to go to war. I believe this was all planned to start a war with Iraq for sand and oil. So again, Bush has a history, Bush Sr., of doing coups in other countries. Now the MIC is so powerful in our country that they're doing a silent coup here and taking over because innocent people are being attacked once again, and it's not in the major news medias about all the innocent people in this country being hit with directed energy weapons.